again in 2025 in order to build a business that will pay me at least $10,000 a month, how exactly would you do it? Now, can you imagine if you had notifications every single day which were basically telling you that you received $1,000 commission? It's a pretty simple, straightforward process that you can follow, and I'm going to break out those particular steps that you can take in order to build an Instagram channel that'll pay you at least $1,000 a day. So the first step is going to be highly focused, targeting the right type of people. So to give you an example of a niche, let's just say you're someone that is particularly focused on the weight loss niche, and you're targeting particular individuals. As an example, let's say people who are over 40. Now, obviously, the kind of content you want to produce is content that specifically relates to those people. If you start producing various aspects around weight loss, which is not hyperly focused or not focused specifically to your niche, it's going to be very difficult to create a channel that is very specific around that particular target audience. So the reason I say that the niche is very important is because a niche essentially is what drives your content, and it'll tell you what kind of content you can produce. And I'll come back to that because that's going to be one of the key elements when it comes to your steps in terms of creating an Instagram channel that is great for you. Now that brings me to the second point, which is basically in terms of the kind of content that you're going to create. Now, when it comes to Instagram, what you really want to focus on is the viral aspect, as well as being attentive in terms of information that is very easy to consume. And your target audience basically is going to be able to find your content quite easily, but also can really, consume that content very easily within a short time of frame. So it's very important that when it comes to actually creating content, you focus on reels or videos that are very short, something which is between 30 seconds to 60 seconds. In some cases also, what you can do is you can create content based on content that is reusable. So what I mean by that is, if you look at a lot of the channels that are based on Instagram that are very popular and have millions of followers, very often you'll see that it's content that is very specific to their particular niche. And some of that content, if you find content that is relatable to your particular niche by another channel, you can actually reuse that content by downloading those specific reels and reapplying your own edits to it so that it actually pertains to your particular area of focus. Now, by doing that, essentially, you're basically reusing content that is viral, but for your own specific channel. And there are ways to do that where you can use specific programs to download that particular type of reel or whatever video it is that you find on Instagram. You can also use ChatGPT to basically tell you how to download those videos, or use particular programs like CapCut, which are quite effective in terms of trimming down those particular videos once you've downloaded them. So once you have the viral content, the next step basically is you want to basically focus on promoting a product or service that allows you to earn the $1,000 commission. Now, in most cases, you will see that to have a product like that, it's kind of known as high ticket affiliate marketing, but it doesn't have to be an affiliate based product. It could be something that is of your own, perhaps let's say a consulting based product that is very specific, say for example to the niche that I mentioned, which is weight loss. Perhaps you're an expert in that area, and this can relate to any other area which basically focuses on a specialized niche where you are a professional that can provide advice on that. So it's very important that the product or service that you're providing really gives you high value. And the reason that's important is that, again, because you're focusing on a specific niche, you will obviously attract the right kind of audience that is going to be very specifically looking for that information. And obviously, if you're providing content which specifically speaks to their problems, then you're going to be providing value. And because they find value in your reels, the chances they're more likely to buy into your product or service is going to be much higher. So what you want to essentially do is that in your profile for your Instagram, you want to create a link or something that redirects them to something which basically allows them to either join an email list where you're building a list of subscribers that are interested in your particular service or product, and also gives them the option to basically sign up for something that eventually allows them to buy into your product or service. So it could be that you're offering a product or service where it's got specific tiers, where they're starting off maybe with a product or service that's from $297 all the way up to $997, basically the $1,000. So essentially what you want to do then is to ensure that it really speaks to their requirements, and there's value for that. And obviously they will find value if they've already been consuming your content and been following you regularly on your channel. But if you're not really sure how you can create that, and you just want to see how you can start kind of building a channel where you're able to earn $1,000 through someone else's product, then I really suggest that you check out the link below that I provided in the comments, where there's free training that really shows you how a 90% done for you system actually can help you get started. So if you really don't have the time to create your own product or service, I'd really suggest looking at that. And obviously you can get that training just by clicking on the link that's provided below. And then obviously from there you'll be able to follow the training and see if it's something that appeals to you. Now, once you've identified your product or service, the next important step, which a lot of people tend to miss, is actually being consistent with your content. Now, when I say consistent, now consistency can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people, because depending on your schedule as a person, you could be a person that is working a 9 to 5. You probably only have 2 to 3 hours a day to create content, and really you don't have to create a lot of content. When I say content, it could be something that is maybe 30-second videos, as I mentioned earlier in the video. And this could be something very specific that you're speaking about relating to your niche, which offers value to your potential followers and hence your potential prospects and customers. So what you essentially want to do is on a daily basis create a schedule that basically allows you to create quick content that you can post out. And apart from Instagram, if you find, for example, that there's another channel where you can repost or that content, what we refer to as syndication, for example, like TikTok, then basically you save yourself time because you're kind of reusing the same content but on a different channel. So what you're essentially doing is you're growing your potential customer base. So you need to kind of look at areas that really relate to your niche, where you know you can speak about it quite well. You can be authentic about it. Authenticity is quite important because that also attracts followers. And if you're able to create 1 to 2 videos or reels a day, and you're consistent with that, or let's just say you are consistent in terms of doing something like 3 to 4 postings a week at least, then at least people know that you're someone that is quite serious and someone they can follow, and they know they're going to get follow-up content. So that is going to be critical. So if you're not being consistent, this is where most people fail when it comes to producing a high following Instagram channel. And these steps can be applied in 2025, where it'll help you kind of build the option to build a high value channel that'll basically help you earn at least $1,000 a day in the long run. But with time, when you start being consistent, you'll be able to start seeing regular results, and as I mentioned, probably start receiving notifications almost on a daily basis to say that you've made a sale and hence you're making $1,000 a day.